Hello and welcome to Elecspo, and unless you're someone really famous or like a proper FIFA streamer, then we're all still eagerly waiting to receive our copy of FIFA 21. But as the game's release date creeps ever closer, we've got even more ratings to sink our teeth into and mull over before it's time to actually just get on with it and play the game. So today what I'm going to do is look at every Premier League club and pick out their highest rated player, and as a cheeky little bonus, we'll also look at what their rating was 5 years ago on FIFA 16. Let's do it. Arsenal, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. For the third year in a row, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is Arsenal's best player, although he's actually down 1 from last year to an 87. I just don't understand that. If anything, he's got better. Aubameyang is Arsenal's talisman, just like Alexis Sanchez, Robin van Persie and Thierry Henry were in the past, but 5 years ago Aubameyang was still at Dortmund. On FIFA 16 he started the game as just an 82, with the potential to reach only 84, so even with his downgrade he's exceeded that potential. Aston Villa, Jack Grealish. Of course Aston Villa's best player is Jack Grealish. Even with the arrival of Ross Barkley, it's the local lad who takes top spot, up to an 80 after an incredible season in the top flight. But 5 years ago Grealish was a young kid at the age of 20 and was rated 72 on the back of his first real season in the Premier League. Even back then FIFA believed in him, as he had potential to reach an 83. If he can perform even better than he did last season, then he'll no doubt take another step to reaching it. Brighton, Matthew Ryan. Yet again Matty Ryan is Brighton's best player, equalling his tally of 80 last year that actually made him Brighton's best ever player on FIFA, but you already know that if you watched the other video. 5 years ago Ryan was already highly rated, a 78 rated goalkeeper who had just joined a big club in Valencia. Now he plays for Brighton, who are the Premier League's experts in cracking the woodwork. Seriously lads, work on your finishing, otherwise no one will topple Ryan for top spot. Burnley, Nick Pope. After sharing the honours with James Tarkowski last season, Nick Pope is the outright best Burnley have got on FIFA 21, with his rating 82. On FIFA 16 though, he was, well, to put it bluntly, he was absolutely gash. Can I say gash? Oh well, said it twice now. Gash, that's a hat-trick. He was just a 58 on the game, with the potential to reach the lofty heights of 65. It's fair to say he's exceeded that and then some. Chelsea and N'Golo Kante. Despite all of Chelsea's shiny new signings, N'Golo Kante is once again their best player, with the marathon man from the middle of the park getting a rating of 88. With his incredible energy and tackling ability, he's a man you always want in your midfield, be it in real life or the more important world of FIFA. But 5 years ago his England adventure was just beginning. The Frenchman had just joined Leicester from KANE and started the season with a rating of 76 and potential 81. 12 months later, he was a Premier League winner. Crystal Palace, WILFRIED ZAHA. Palace's talisman's got slightly worse since FIFA 20 was released, with ZAHA down from an 84 to an 83, although after the start of the season he's had, he'd probably be up to that once again. But 5 years ago his second venture with Palace was just getting going, having re-signed with the club permanently in February 2015. ZAHA started FIFA 16 as a 77 with the potential to reach 81, but with his form in the last couple of years it's no surprise that he's exceeded that potential and banished the nightmare that was his Man United spell. Everton, Lucas Digne. Despite all the flash new signs at Goodison Park, it's still left back Lucas Digne who is Everton's best player, going one better than Alan with a rating of 84 to make him one of the best left backs in the Prem. 5 years ago though he was just a 76 and is another player to surpass his disappointing potential of just 81. Fulham, ALPHONSE AREOLA. With how his Fulham career started, you wouldn't think he'd be their best player, but loanee Areola is actually an 82 rating, having arrived from PSG on loan. To think, last season he was at Real Madrid, he's gone from having Sergio Ramos in front of him to Tim Ream. Sometimes life can be cruel. On FIFA 16 Areola was a 76 with the potential to reach 85, but he best get a shift on if he's going to reach that. Leeds United, Rodrigo. Leeds are back in the Premier League, and although Ellen Road won't be on FIFA for some reason, they've got Rodrigo at least, who's their best player with an 82. The former Valencia man's career trajectory seems to be going to plan for the guys at FIFA, who had him down to 79 on FIFA 16 with the potential to get to 84, so at least he's not far off, he just needs to stop being outscored by Patrick bloody Bamford. Leicester City, Jamie Vardy. No surprises here with Jamie Vardy as Leicester's best player, and another impressive season has seen him rewarded with his best rating ever, a huge 86. And as we said earlier, 5 years ago was just the beginning of that historic Leicester season, and like everyone else, FIFA didn't have high hopes for Jamie Vardy. On FIFA 16 the Leicester number 9 was just a 71 and had no potential to get any better. Got that one a little bit wrong, didn't you lads? Liverpool, Virgil van Dijk. Liverpool have got a load of players who are a 90 on FIFA 21, but Virgil van Dijk is the one who features highest on the FIFA ratings database, so that's who we'll go with. The best centre back in the Premier League was only a 77 5 years ago on FIFA 16, back when he had just moved to England and joined Southampton. His potential was only 83, but I think FIFA can certainly be excused for not tipping Van Dijk to become one of the best in the world. I mean, back then Klopp hadn't even joined Liverpool to sign him. Manchester City, Kevin De Bruyne. He's the best player in the Premier League, so of course Kevin De Bruyne is Man City's best player as well. In fact, he's one of the best on the game with a rating of 91. 5 years ago he wasn't as good, but to be fair he was still absolute class. The Belgian had just signed for Man City for a club record fee from Wolfsburg and arrived with a rating of 86 and potential 89. De Bruyne has taken his game to another level in the past few years, and he'll have to go down as one of the Premier League's best ever when he eventually hangs up his boots. Manchester United, Bruno Fernandes. Forget all the penalty crap, Bruno Fernandes is a wonderful player and is promoted as such with an 87 to make him Man United's #1 player. He's had a huge impact since arriving at Old Trafford, but 5 years ago he was nowhere near the player he is today. FIFA 16 had him down as just a 75 with the potential to reach 83. But in the past few years Fernandes has really kicked on, with penalty after penalty taking him at the high 80s. Newcastle United, Martin Dubravka. Now one of the top goalkeepers in England, Martin Dubravka was absolutely crap on FIFA 5 years ago. I mean, I doubt anyone even knew who he was in 2015, I know I certainly didn't. Dubravka was just a 63 on that game, but 5 years on he's one of the Premier League's best shot stoppers and is Newcastle's best player with an 83, a testament to how many times safe hands Martin's actually saved the Magpies since arriving. Sheffield United, Sander Berge. The Norwegian sensation is a glorious player to watch, and I still can't really believe he plays for Sheffield United of all clubs. At 79 he's Chris Wilder's best player on FIFA 21, although I imagine Chris Wilder is the kind of bloke who doesn't give a toss about video games, they're just for stupid kids with nothing better to do, right Chris? Back to Berge though, who was only 56 on FIFA 16, back when he was just 17 years old and playing for Vålerenga. His potential was only 71 too, which the midfielders surpassed with ease. Southampton, Danny Ings. Danny Ings is an 80 for Southampton this season, and to be honest he should be even more. He was incredible last season for the Saints, and he started the new campaign in the same vein. He's improved since FIFA 16 though, back when he was a 76 after just arriving at Liverpool. His potential was 83, a rating I think a lot of fans believe he should be on FIFA 21. Tottenham, Harry Kane. Tottenham's best player with a rating of 88, 5 years ago was the year that Harry Kane really arrived on FIFA. He was just on the back of his breakout season at Spurs, scoring 21 Premier League goals in 34 games. But still, he only started FIFA 16 as a 78, with the potential to get to 84. But how were they to know he'd consistently score the goals at the rate he has? Before that he'd been useless everywhere he'd been on loan, he couldn't score for love nor money. West Brom, Matheus Pereira. This was a big signing for West Brom over the summer, as Matheus Pereira was a key player in their promotion charge, and he goes straight in as their best player with the lowest rating in the video of 76. But when you look back at the Brazilian's FIFA 16 potential, it's clear that Pereira's been tipped for the top a long time ago. Back when he was a teenager at Sporting his rating was 72, but the potential was there for him to reach 86. Can he do that at West Brom? Probably not. West Ham, Lucas Fabianski. West Ham have got 4 players rated at 81, but the one who features highest on FIFA's rankings is his goalkeeper Lucas Fabianski. The Polish start has been wonderful for West Ham, just like he was for Swansea, which is why on FIFA 16 he was a 78, which was still a good rating for a man once dubbed Flappy Hansky, which isn't a great name for a goalkeeper, is it? It's like calling David James Calamity James. God, those were dark days. Remember the blonde cornrows? And finally Wolves, Rui Patricio. Our final player is Rui Patricio, who is one of 2 84 rated players Wolves have got alongside Raul Jimenez. But it's the goalkeeper we're looking at today, as his FIFA journey's been a lot more straightforward than the rest of them. On FIFA 16, his rating was 81 with the potential to reach 84. Fast forward 5 years and he is an 84, simple as that. Well done Rui Patricio for actually following your FIFA trajectory perfectly. The rest of you could learn a lot from this man, especially you Nick Pope, thinking you're better than a 58, just do as you're told next time, okay? So that's every Premier League club's best player on FIFA 21 and what they were on FIFA 16. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. As always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Elecspo, and until next time we will see you around.